What's up, fight fans? This is Kurtaville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya calls out Triple G. He eyes Gennady Golovkin, and he says, "You know how easy Triple G would be for me." Oscar De La Hoya says that he's not only would he be a good match for Gennady Golovkin, he would beat him easily. Wow. Oscar De La Hoya says that he is still coming out of retirement and believes he'll be able to challenge the biggest names currently in the sport. He say, for instance, two-time middleweight world champion Gennady Golovkin. De La Hoya believes that the Kazakhstani elite offers an interesting matchup for him upon his return for action, and even is going as far as to say it would be a one-sided affair in his favor. He says, "You know how easy Triple G would be for me? Oh my gosh," De La Hoya said, speaking to Boxing Scene. Okay, shouts out to them. "It would be a high-profile fight, that's for sure." He says, I always took a good shot, and I always took apart fighters like him. In my mind, it would be that easy. I would definitely consider it, that's for sure." Those are the words of Oscar De La Hoya. Okay, let me counterpunch. De La Hoya hasn't fought professionally since 2008, okay, when he quit on the stool at the end of the 8th round by Manny Pacquiao, okay, at a catch weight of 145. Before that, he was stopped against Bernard Hopkins at 157, I believe that catch weight was, okay, where he fought Bernard Hopkins. Now, you had from 08-09, you had a lot of he had a lot of stints in and out of rehab because of substance abuse. He had those type of challenges. I haven't really seen him spar or anything like that. He's always been a fast fighter. He's always been a very good fighter, a technician almost. He's a left-handed that fights orthodox, which his left hook is his power hand, okay, or power punch rather. Really his power hand, because he has a stiff jab too with that same powerful left, since he is originally a southpaw. Now, him saying that Triple G all those years, so that's 12 years, okay? 12 years you can come back and fight and not only beat the elite, make it look easy. You're sounding like Teofimo Lopez Jr. by saying that he could beat Triple G. Now, what's my take on that? It would be one hell of a thing if he could. But logic is, I don't think that would happen. Why? Because Gennady Golovkin is a guy not only gave his prodigy Canelo Alvarez, which Canelo Alvarez himself is a very talented fighter. He's not as tall as De La Hoya, so there might be a height difference. Okay, now him saying that he could take a good punch, he's always been able to. He's right. De La Hoya can take a good punch. He's never been knocked out in any fight with a punch to the head. Now, he did get caught with a left hook to the body by Bernard the Executioner Hopkins, which a lot of people did doubt if that was legitimate or not, because right after that, those guys went into business in Golden Boy and started promoting fighters together. I don't know, maybe it was some Rocky Apollos type stuff. I'm not sure, but a lot of people doubted that, right? But if that was a legitimate knockdown, Oscar De La Hoya is in trouble. Why? Because Oscar De La Hoya, if he went down from a left hook to the body from Bernard Hopkins, Triple G would do much more than that. On top of that, I look at a fight where he was in with a jabber. Let's take two fights. You had Ike Corte, which was a very good jabber. He was known for his bazooka jab that gave De La Hoya fits. Two, Felix Stern, okay? Remember that German fighter that also gave him fits, that also outboxed him using the jab, and he couldn't do anything about it. He really didn't make adjustments. He just rallied in place of getting popped in the eye repeatedly, okay? And that was at 160. That was when he was at middleweight. That was actually before he got stopped by Bernard Hopkins. So looking at those two situations where you had guys that are jabbers, I say him fighting Triple G would be a bad idea. Why? because Triple G can pressure you with his own jab. It's a sneaky, very accurate jab. You guys seen what Joe Joyce did to Dubois? He would do that to Oscar De La Hoya. He did it to Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez has very good head movement. In fact, Canelo Alvarez has a lot better head movement than he did. You know, I mean, he didn't really. He crouched over. He was a good range finder, had a great jab, but he really didn't have good head movement. You know, not as far as moving. He might, you know, go with a punch. He was very good at that. Oscar De La Hoya was in his heyday, but he didn't have really good head movement. He more had a stiff head, you know, and his head stayed on the center line as he threw the jab, so he would come in. Someone like Gennady Golovkin would give him fits, because the problem is that I don't think he could hurt Gennady Golovkin. And what happens when Gennady Golovkin opens up on De La Hoya and starts ripping shots to the body and the head, coming off of a 12-year layoff? Okay, that's one of the worst parts about it. Now, you could look at those 12 years and think about how he was able to recover, but then what has he done to his body? Not everyone's a Tyson Fury when it comes to that type of abuse. However, Oscar De La Hoya is a fighter that what is that? Sorry, but Oscar De La Hoya was a fighter that worked with combinations. Okay, he was a combination fighter, whereas Triple G is a fighter that sets things up from his jab. Seeing what I saw him in his prime do against guys like Felix Stern, there's no false pretenses, people. Gennady Golovkin will eat De La Hoya up with the jab. Okay, now he could jab with Gennady Golovkin, and I think he has a quicker jab than Golovkin, but Golovkin, I think, has a more accurate jab like Felix Stern had. The only difference is Triple G has a better right hand and a better arsenal of punches than Felix Stern. Felix Stern was a fighter that had a good jab, but he's more like a Kubrat Pulev. Has a very good jab, but really not anything else that developed like his jab. Golovkin is a different story. Golovkin can hit you with the jab, okay, and then follow with a right hand with a left hook, follow with another right hand, and then see Golovkin he can angle his shots and catch you high above on your temple spots and really give you problems. Either way that goes, I would love to see it. I will see it if it ever been made, if Golovkin ever accepts it. But make no mistake about it. I think if Oscar De La Hoya should have came back, he should have came back a long time ago. You know, and I wondered why he, you know, stayed out of the game that long. But Mike Tyson, of course, has caused all these guys to come out of their shell and believe in themselves again. So kudos to Mike. But as far as Oscar De La Hoya fighting Triple G, saying it'll be easy, you got to show me that. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Oscar De La Hoya saying that he could easily beat Triple G and the annoying ass fire alarm. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.